It's a championship showdown of adverse proportions. Our setting moves from the red centre to Victoria's lush farmland. The cars, a high-flying, high-horsepower Pro buggy versus a light, nimble Can-Am. The drivers, the greatest of all time versus a young, hungry rookie. It's Toby versus Goliath in the final round of the BF Goodrich CAMS Australian Off-Road Championship. Rainbow, northwest Victoria. This quaint farming community, known for wheat and grain, once again hosts Australia's fastest off-road buggies and trucks for the Hindmarsh Shire Rainbow Desert Enduro. Hi everyone and welcome to the Off-Road HQ and the final round of the BF Goodrich CAMS Australian Off-Road Championship. Never has a side-by-side turbo been in contention for outright honours. 20-year-old Toby Waitley led the points after round one in St George. 8-time champ Shannon Wrench took back the lead at the gruelling Finke Desert Race. Now it's the final chapter, the Hindmarsh Shire Rainbow Desert Enduro, the longest event of the season.
This is the longest race in the championship for us. It's nearly 600 kilometres, so it's probably, compared to Finke and St George, this is more of an endurance event, so not so much of a sprint. And being points and a half, it could really work against us, so it's really ours to lose at the minute. But yeah, hopefully we can have a clean run and keep the car in one piece and get a good result. It is a bit like David and Goliath here this weekend with the big BF Goodrich Hog's Breath Jimco here against the smaller Can-Am, but it's good to see a bit of change in the sport, and hopefully the traditional buggy here can end up at the front and we can get our nice championship this weekend in Rainbow.
We went up to St George earlier in the year, and as some may have seen, we did well and came out with the second outright, which was a good start to the season leading into Finke, and even the second outright we still managed to lead the championship out of St George, so that put us in a good place for the rest of the year, I think. So yeah, Shannon Wrench is a very dialed in driver. I think he just drives fast enough to win and doesn't push the limits and take risks, so I've got to try and take something out of that and maybe do the same and just play the game and see how we come out. There's something new to me to even be up in the pointy end, and I couldn't think of anyone worse for me to come up against than Shannon because he's so fast and so good. But look, we'll give it a crack and hopefully some things in the weekend go right and we can get up there or even just hold a position to be good. I think the weather will play a big part in that. Like me being full drive will be good if it's muddy and be harder for him, but I think if it's dry it's going to be a lot harder for me and vice versa, but we'll see how it plays out.
We raced here last year and obviously won it. The track last year was pretty greasy. They had a lot of rain here. The track itself is a fantastic track. It's got fast straights, really tight corners, and out the back we actually get into the desert and it's excellent. It's flowing sand dunes and they whoop out and the trucks love it. We'll just push it as hard as we can, and we don't want to upset anyone, but we're here to do the best we can and push this truck as hard as we can.
Anything's possible. It is a long way, and we try to look after the car, so hopefully we'll be there at the finish. We've got Shannon out front, of course. He's quite hard to beat. Had a bit of a rough start to the season with the DNF at St George, but backing it up quite well with Finke. We were all shocked with the team's effort and everyone come together and had a amazing time at Finke, and so we're here for Rainbow, final round.
Well, this is the point snapshot coming into Rainbow. Shannon Wrench has a decent lead, but Rainbow carries a 50% bonus, which means the winner can grab 450 points. There's also some good class battles to sort, particularly in Pro Light and Extreme two-wheel drive. Rainbow, based 400 k's northwest of Melbourne in the Wimmera Mallee region, is a town of just under 700 people, and they are passionate about off-road racing. The circuit stretches 75 k's out into Victoria's big desert and is a mix of thick sand and mud. There's been minor changes from last year and they've been added to slow some of the faster sections. But the biggest change, the giant jump in front of the spectator hill. How hard do they hit it? Check this out. Stick around for plenty more high-flying action. Day 1, final round, the Hindmarsh Shire Rainbow Desert Enduro. 2 laps, 150 Ks, sort the starting order, the Prologue.
So in Prologue, I reckon we'll have a good crack if it's wet and try and get up the front as far as we can, and then, yeah, hopefully stay out of the mud.
Hopefully we can get a good position in the Prologue. It's probably not so crucial here compared to St George or Fink because dust is not going to be much of an issue. But having said that, it'd be nice to start up the front and get a clean run towards the race.
Prologue's important to most people, I suppose. Not necessarily me. It is just a start time. It's just a number on the grid. We're racing the clock this weekend, and it's a big race.
We'll push as hard as we can. It probably doesn't concern us where we come because we haven't got the dust factor. So as long as we haven't got the mud factor, as long as we're in the top 10, I think we'd be quite happy with that.
Shannon, you've ticked the first box, quickest in the Prologue and the shootout. What's the plan from here and how have the conditions changed so far?
Yeah, Prologue was really good. Conditions were perfect really, but then unfortunately we had a bit of a shower between the Prologue and the shootout, so which made the shootout pretty tricky. And some parts of the track were really slippery. Lucky enough to get the win in the shootout, and then yeah, first off for the race today.
Perfect start to the weekend for the BF Goodrich Pro Buggy and a clean sweep of the season's Prologues. Big news, second in points, Toby Waitley down in 12. Heavy showers lashed the area during Prologue. The forecast was for more of the same. Could this be the advantage the four-wheel drive Can-Ams were hoping for? Another feature of the Rainbow event, side-by-side starts. First pair, Shannon Wrench and Josh Howes. Last year's winner, Greg Gardner, with Mark Burrows for company. First turn 1 meant avoiding a face full of mud. Toby Waitley with a lot of cars to pass. All 41 entries off and into the desert. The forecast rain arrived. Right on cue, the Can-Ams came to life. Toby Waitley moved from 12th to 7th on the opening lap. But the South Aussie's luck quickly ran out. Second lap, Greg Gardner on the move. Greg Gualandi made the most of the slippery, muddy conditions, up an incredible 19 places from 26th to 7th. But nobody got near Shannon Wrench. First to the finish line jump after section 1, and one step closer to the title. Greg Gardner second, Sydney's Josh Howes third. Second in points, Toby Waitley could only manage 12. Massive day to go tomorrow with 5 more laps to do out there in these tricky conditions.
Yeah, there's a long day tomorrow. After the 2 laps today, the track's even rough after that. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be horrendous, I think, on the last lap. But yeah, unfortunately, we had some showers on and off, which made the track pretty treacherous in a few spots. But yeah, hopefully the rain can hold off for tonight and we can have some fun tomorrow.
Up the straights, it's quite good. The wind was getting under the bonnet, and we did see 210 there for minutes. I'd like to go faster, but we have no more in it. So, but out the sandy bits, it's awesome out there. It's pretty rutted up, and it'd be a test tomorrow to see how many will get home. It's pretty rough.
So we're based in Anning Grove, just in Sydney there. Basically, Dad is our go-to man. You know, he fixes everything, works 24/7 on these cars, and both Ali and I never go out with a half-prepared car, so very lucky in that sense.
My brother and I both started racing motorbikes when we were younger. After racing bikes for a while, Dad decided let's give it a go, and my brother and I spent a year and we built our first Class 3. We took it our first race meeting at Cola and we rode it off. And then from there it's just, it's sort of stuck.
Both Ali and I work for ourselves, so we get home from work and then try and sneak in a couple of hours every afternoon and then pick a day on the weekends and just try and knock it all over. The work in the shed is what wins the races.
I think we enjoy each other's company, and that's why we're so involved, and we've moved our way through the ranks as we've progressed, I suppose, as we've gotten better each year. And I really enjoy the fact of off-road that it doesn't matter that I'm a girl doing it. I don't get treated any different. It's great fun.
The Howells family have been a really welcome addition to the off-road scene. Now on to day 2, and it is the longest on the tour. 5 laps, that's 375 Ks, more than 50% longer than the run from Alice Springs to Fink. And the championship still very much on the line.
We start side by side with Shannon today, I believe, and quite interesting because it's very slippery off the start and all through the whole first 1 or 2 laps will be very, very skatey. We're using a lot of fuel. It's caught people out. We're almost 1.3 litres to a kilometre. We really thought we were a kilometre to a litre, but everyone's using a lot more fuel, so we can't do just one stop here.
It's been pretty treacherous, pretty rough. Surprised how rough it was yesterday, like straight up. Looks like it's sort of the last lap from last year, It's pretty bad. So I think we'll have a tough time getting to the end, or everyone will, I should say. But yeah, otherwise it's all pretty good. But you get into that sandy stuff, you wouldn't even know it's wet. So it's actually pretty good out the back there, A bit of rough stuff, a little bit like Fink, a little bit of whoops and stuff. And yeah, the straights are all pretty good, but yeah, it's still obviously very wet in some places.
A much brighter forecast for the final day of the season. Perfect for Wrench. He needed to finish the race to win the championship and was first away with Greg Gartner. There was still a glimmer of hope for Toby Waitley. Michael Mager impressed on lap 1, up 2 spots to 8th. The crowd keen to see some big jumps. Fighting for the Extreme 2-wheel drive class championship, Brett Taylor moved from 22nd all the way up to 7th. Gartner closed on Wrench for the lead, but was blinded by the mud. Wrench buggy first to pit. Visibility always an issue in these muddy conditions. Shannon, how is it out there today?
Yeah, it's drying out a lot now with the sun shining today and no rain about it. The track's become really good now with the cars running over it. So looking forward to the next few laps. Hopefully we can keep the car going. And long way to go yet. The track's chopping up pretty bad. So
Sounded like it got pretty close between you and Greg out there.
yeah, our mirrors are all caked in. We actually didn't know he was there until we were going through a gateway. But yeah, and then I think we managed to get away a little bit, took the pressure off. But yeah, long way to go yet. So if we can keep it rolling.
We got no diff, we've blown a diff, no brakes and snapped the sway bar, but it's all part of it. We're having fun, yeah.
Can-Am still chugging.
Yeah, we're still going. There's a lot of guys pulling over and getting punches. I said, let's keep going.
Closing stages of the Hindmarsh Shire Rainbow Desert Enduro. Mark Burrows first on track, 16-year-old son Matthew navigating. They elected to go for an extra lap, a strategic roll of the dice. Bo Robinson moved ahead of Greg Gartner for second. Gartner's Geyser Brothers truck slowed by a puncture and a quick stop in the pits. Wrench turned up the heat and set the fastest lap ahead of his final pit stop. 102 km/h average speed. Any hazards or particular spots in the circuit you're worried about this last lap?
Just through where we go into the desert, the white sand, it's really chopped up, really rough, and there's actually Josh Howes was just stuck out there then in one of the corners, just sort of bottomed out, stuck there. So you just have to be careful around there and then to try and nurse it home.
Then incredibly, Gartner picked up another puncture and again had to pit. Mark Burrows' one-stop strategy paid off. First to the finish line jump. Shannon Wrench second home, the winner of the event, and more importantly, the championship too. Well, Shannon Wrench, you've done it, you've held on. That's 9 championships now in the BF Goodrich Australian Off-Road Championship. Talk us through that last lap.
Yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking, just never know what can happen up until the end. So, yeah, just tried to set a good pace in the last lap and just hope the car held together, which it did, and just really happy to get it done. Really tough conditions out there, but yeah, all the hard work's paid off.
Bo Robinson, first of the battered trophy trucks. Proving that it's one of the toughest races we go to on the calendar once again, but Bo Robinson, you weathered the storm this weekend. Congratulations on potential a podium here this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, mate. No, it was good. Yeah, we've had a couple of bad runs this year, so it's good just to have a good finish. And yeah, the truck was good. It was pretty bad, pretty rough out there in the end. Wet, rough, sandy, everything. So it was yeah, certainly an enduro.
Combined times from days 1 and 2 made up the outright results. Clean sweep of all 3 events for Warrnambool's Shannon and Ian Wrench. Jeff McNiven first in the side-by-side turbo class. The final points, a record 9th title for the Wrench family. Toby Waitley held on to second, an incredible feat. Josh Howes completed a youthful-looking top 3. Class winners for 2018, no surprises in Pro and side-by-side turbo. In Pro Light, Alan Dixon held off Ali Howes for the win. Paul Malt and Jeff Pickering, the only drivers to defend their 2017 class titles. Congratulations to Shannon and Ian Wrench, the dominant force once again, in the BF Goodrich CAMS Australian Off-Road Championship. Keep an eye out on the website and Facebook page for all the latest news across the off-season. We'll leave you today with some of the best images of 2018. It started in the outback in Queensland, made the annual pilgrimage to the epic Finke Desert Race, and once again wound up in Rainbow. Thanks for watching.